Hi, my name is Karina Diaz, and I'll be presenting on Joseph Duvernay and uses for experimental ablation. Joseph Guichard Duvernay was born in France in 1648. His father was the village physician, and Duvernay followed in his footsteps. He went to study medicine at the age of 14 and graduated at 19 years old with a degree in medicine. He joined a group of anatomists called the Parisians. They dissected many animals, documented all their findings, and they did so for King Louis XIV. Duvernay published Trait de l'organe de l'ouïe, which is about the auditory organ of the ear, and he also explained the structures, functions, and diseases of the ear in this book. He claimed that mechanical vibrations pass through the bones of the middle ear and set spirits into the brain, which then would send spirits to the muscles in the neck, causing the person to turn their head in the direction of the sound. Duvernay had many other works like this, except most were not published in his name because they were published posthumously or simply because he just didn't get around to it. Ablation is the surgical removal of body tissue. Experimental ablation is when parts of the brain are purposefully damaged and behavior is then studied. Because the brain is so interconnected, damaging one part of the brain may disrupt a certain behavior, even if that is not the sole source of that behavior. There are different types of lesions used. The most common ones are radiofrequency lesions and excitotoxic lesions. Radiofrequency lesions are when an electrical current passes through an electrode and kills the target tissue and some of the surrounding cells. This is usually due to the heat of the electrode during that current. Laser ablation follows a similar path, using heat to kill cells. Excitotoxic lesions, however, is when an excitatory amino acid is injected into a cell, and that cell is then stimulated to death. This method is more selective and allows for a more definitive answer on the causes of whatever brain damage occurs afterwards. A stereotaxic atlas is necessary in order to accurately place the electrode or cannula used to create the lesion into the proper area of the brain. Most ablations are usually performed on animals because it is deemed inhumane and unethical to damage parts of a human brain because the damage is irreversible. But some lesions are used in humans to treat different diseases or to at least minimize the symptoms of certain diseases. For instance, a treatment that is in clinical stages for Parkinson's disease is that basically what is now known as a brain pacemaker is inserted into the brain and stimulates the neurons to the point of causing a temporary lesion, and this temporary lesion will minimize the tremors experienced by these patients with Parkinson's disease. Also, ablations were commonly used in earlier years to treat patients with schizophrenia, OCD, and clinical depression. However, these practices have been severely diminished because they were unethical and led to much more damage than good. Thank you.